We got a half an acre in southern Utah, just north of St. George, really close to Bryce Canyon, Dixie National Forest, and Zion National Park as well. My name's Miles McLaughlin here making this video. In the video, I'm going to break down the property. I'm going to talk about FAQs and common questions that people always ask. I'm going to share potential uses for the property. I'm going to talk about the target audience, again, what people are doing with these type of properties. I'm going to show you where the property is located on a map. I'm going to talk to you how you can go visit the property on your own as well. So here at Wilco Land, we do offer more of a self-service model. We've got a great sales team that can answer any of your questions. And our focus is to offer unique and epic land investments. And this one definitely fits a bill based on the location. So just kicking this video off with a quick disclaimer. This isn't legal advice. This isn't real estate advice. This is me simply sharing my thoughts and opinions on the property with you through my own due diligence and experience in this industry. So I'll talk about, you can see some of the neighboring properties just have camper setups, right? This is actually a really cool sort of off-grid setup that this person's got going. A couple more campers out here. You can see there are some like A-frames, maybe some off-grid structures in the distance, right? So we can learn a lot from the comfort of our house. There's so much you can learn on a property. This is what road access looks like, right? These are the views from the property. So our photographer did a really, really good job of basically giving you a vision of what you can expect going out to these properties. And I'm going to go through the subdivision and show you a little bit more of what other people are doing. Here's the property outlined right here. And I want to talk a little bit more. I want to pull the property up on Google Earth satellite imagery to talk a little bit more about this land investment. First of all, I want to show you where it's located on a map. So we're down here in southern Utah. When I think about this property, I think it's an awesome landing point for all things recreation. So if you want a spot to park the camper on the weekends, to put a yurt up, a tiny home, maybe a storage container, there's all sorts of unique, very temporary, dry cabins, solar, like I said, yurts, campers, even just tent camping. This is a really cool location to call your landing point for everything southern Utah, right? You're really close to Bryce Canyon. You're close to Zion. You're close to St. George. This is Big Water, Utah down here. And like Lake Powell, right? And if you go a little bit further north of the property, you've got Dixie National Forest just to your west, right? So look at all the recreation north and south view in this property. So we know we're in a mecca of world-class recreation. I think this is a really cool landing point, especially for the price point. This is an awesome recreational property. And right behind it, there's a really cool trail system. So I want to talk about, things like bringing your mountain bikes out here, going on day hikes. This is going to provide you an access point to go do all of that stuff at a really, really affordable price. And you can see other, like I said, people have campers out there. They have dry cabins, off-grid units, another camper over here. Here's a house though. Here's another really nice house. So some folks are building. Here's a camper setups right there. So we can see what other folks are doing. This is a really cool setup actually too. Somebody looks like they threw some gravel down. This might be a storage container. They might keep their bikes out here, maybe some four-wheelers or some quads, right? Some razors. People will do that. We sell a lot of properties and our focus is to look for these unique and epic parts of the country where you can find really unique and interesting land deals at affordable prices, right? And so I see a lot of our customers going very alternative these days. Storage containers, like I said, dry cabins, finding ways to find recreational land investments. I thought this was really cool looking at this property. There's this thing called the Aquarius Trail System Hatch Hut. And so this is just behind your land, right? And I thought this was really cool. Take a peek at their website. This is what the area looks like. So this is right behind our property. So this trail system hut provides and supports a backcountry experience like no other. A system of 5 huts that are strategically placed on a 190-mile route through some of Utah's most scenic backcountry out there. So take a peek at this website. We shared it in our listing. So if you go here, you can click this link right here on Aquarius Trails and Huts, and you can read a little bit more about the area. So this is what they're building back there, these huts, and people are taking off on mountain biking adventures. And it just proves the point of you can learn so much about an area, about a property through doing research on the internet these days. It's unbelievable. When we talk about potential ideas for the properties that we're selling, I mean, this is one of them, right? I mean, head back here and grill some food, have a couple beers, right? Have your friends rent a cabin, take the trail system out. This is a map of all the trails in the area, right? And here's the hatch hut. So read the website. You can read more about the trail system and the trail maps. I won't spend all your time on this, but I thought this was really unique and interesting to share with our buyers for this area back here. Okay. So getting back to the main point of this listing, when we talk about viewing it on a map, it's going to be really easy using the GPS coordinates. They're going to bring you right here to the corner of Sumatra Way and Shangri-La Drive there. So our property is here on the corner. We can see it. If you just use copy and paste these GPS coordinates and copy them right into Google Maps, and it's going to pull up the property location. We're right here on the corner looking this way. It's going to be really easy when you get out there to understand what you're buying, right? If you and some friends are looking at land, I do own a couple other half an acre lots back here. I own the one adjacent to this. So I own this property and I own two of them right here, I believe. So there's two of them right here and I own this one too, which leads me into a little bit of a backstory, right? I talked about the target audience. This is a recreational property first and foremost. The reason I'm not calling it buildable is that you need a full acre to build. That's the issue in this subdivision. And that can change over time. You'd be surprised how many subdivisions I run into where the county says, hey, you're going to need a full acre to develop this property. Call it politics, call it what you want. But the two properties I own next to each other are going to be a total of 0.8 acres. It's these two properties. Imagine splitting a line right down the middle here. I own this one and I own that one. They both are not quite half an acre. So, and the reason they say you need a full acre to build is because for well and septic. Again, is it politics? Is there a change in technology in 10 years? Do the regulations change in 10 years? Are your kids owning this half an acre and building on it someday? Those are all things that can happen, right? Do utilities get run to this area? Does this area become really popular? I see a big fish back here buying a bunch of properties. There's a person named James buying a lot of land back here. Why is that? Right? Like there's a lot of speculative land investing too that people do. Who knows? Maybe technology comes out. Maybe these regulations change with a different, county council. Like maybe the technology comes available where you can develop on this size of a property, right? That adds some speculative value to your investment. And maybe the technology changes over time where I'm guessing this person may or may not be on an acre. We can look at the acreage here, 0.8 acres. They're not on a full acre. So they don't have a septic and well, at least from what I've been told from the county. Therefore, they have a really cool off-grid dry cabin. And so that's something to talk to the state about. That's something to talk to the county about if you have specific ideas, but first and foremost, put a storage container out here, put a camper out on your property, right? Put a few yurts out on your property. Nobody's stopping you from laying some gravel down, putting some yurts up and creating a little recreational oasis for right now. And that's how we have the property price. You can see this person did the same thing. We talked about that earlier. So again, the Aquarius trail hut system that's back here. You can see that right there. Like I said, the main selling point of this property is going to be your location as a recreational land investment, the price point. There's not a lot of properties you're finding in this price point. So just closing out this video, those of you who want to go visit this property, feel free, like I said, use the GPS coordinates and go view the property. We do own some more properties. I do own the adjacent property to the north. So if you do have friends, family that want to invest in land and have their own private campgrounds out here, have some sort of recreational land investment with you. I have a total of 4 properties. One's right here, one's right here, one's right here, and one's right here. So you can use the GPS coordinates to go access this one in the corner that we're advertising. And, you can look across the street and view this one. Imagine this being cut in half as well. If you're looking for more parcels out here, right, you'd cut that right in half. You'd have parcel 1, parcel 2. And again, I talked about this one too. You would cut this one in half and you'd have, each of these properties is approximately 0.4 acres, right? 0.4 and 0.4, 0.4 and 0.4. So, like I said, share it with friends and family, go in on an investment together. If you want to buy all 4 lots, I'd be happy to talk about a discounted rate. We are in the business of moving land fast. So, that's our model. And that's our business, right? To keep buying, we got to sell these things fast too. So, that's about all I have to share on the property. We talked about location. We pulled it up on Google Earth. We looked at some imagery of the area. Our photographer did a good job finding photos. If you want to hop down on street views, you can get really close to the property down here on the main road and see what you're looking at. So these properties are tucked away back here in that little subdivision. And this is what you're looking at. You're out here in southern Utah. So some really affordable recreational real estate. There's a lot of long-term value in these type of properties, in my opinion. The likelihood that we do have the technology, that regulations change over time, technology becomes more and more available for unique ways to develop on property, to manage your waste, to manage your groundwater and all that stuff. That's only going to improve over time. In the meantime, you have a pretty sweet property to set up like one of these folks have back here. And that's what we've got to share on this one today. Again, give us a call if you have any questions. We do have a lot of other land investments on the website, whether it be Utah or another state. Take a peek at the homepage. You'll find stuff all over the Western United States on here. Again, give us a call if you have questions, 605-299-5553. Again, my name is Miles McLaughlin here at Wilco Land. Thanks for tuning in.